Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. This is the week 4 meals video of my $23 grocery budget challenge and pantry build. This challenge is me spending $23, eating 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and supper, and showing that I can eat well and that I can slowly accumulate pantry items and supplies while I'm doing it. It takes time, it takes patience, because you need to look through the flyers, go to the stores, look for the deals, meal plan what you're eating, have an idea of what you already have. If you don't know what supplies you already own, it's very difficult to figure out what you could make with them if you only needed one more ingredient. And I call that filling in the ingredient gaps with the actual grocery shopping. So this week was a little bit different. We were away and I was unsure. I initially had thought that I was only going to do the challenge for 3 weeks because I knew that there was going to be some days that I was away. But I decided to handle it like this. That's the dog playing with his bone, in case you can hear that in the background. As soon as I'm taking a video, he wants to play and be loud. Anyways, this is how I decided to handle it. I was cooking the food and eating the food for 7 days. Because I was away, what I decided to do was cook the food and have the meals for 2 people. So instead of 7 days for me, this week it was 3 days for 2 different people, and I had actually reduced the budget to $18 because I just knew I was going to be away. I knew that this week was going to be difficult. So thank you for understanding. So this is 6 days of meals. The meals were for 2 people, and they were the same, like what I ate, he ate each day. Check out what I was able to get this week with that smaller budget. And I spent all of my saved money, my carry forward, and all of my fast fuel coupons this week. So I have a few new ingredients from what you saw when I posted the grocery video. Check it out. I am going to spend some of these. I'd like to get some lettuce. I'd like to get from the bulk barn. I'd like to get maybe a little bit of coconut, maybe a couple chocolate chips. I have a couple ingredients here that those might merge with. Maybe you can guess what it might be. I was thinking I'd like to get a package of ramen noodles because I could make lo mein. I have the pork chop. I wouldn't mind having a tomato. So I think probably what I should do first is get the stuff that I need to pay cash for at the bulk barn, see what I can get, and perhaps the ramen noodles at Dollarama probably is the cheapest, and then see what I can find. We are 3 for $1. 3 different kinds. We've got vegetable, chicken, and beef. Okay, I find this really interesting. So 4 for $5. And where is the taco? Here we go. Taco on the top. And this is 24 grams. 24 grams for $1.25. All right, now we're gonna see the bulk barn and see what someone could buy 24 grams of taco seasoning for, just for fun. Okay, so here I am at the bulk barn. The taco seasoning happens to be on sale this week for $5.28 per 100 grams. So I've already done the math. I was looking to see how much it would cost here to get 24 grams of taco seasoning, and the answer is $1.26. So that's surprising to me. I was expecting something much, much different. You learn something every day. Okay, unsweetened coconut, $1.10. So I spent it all. I spent the 65 cents. I spent the fast fuel coupons. I have nothing left, but look at what I got. So first, I got this 3-pack of romaine hearts. They were on sale for $3.99 at Sobeys, and I got a very large tomato, was not on sale. I spent all of the fast fuel coupons. They are gone. Nothing left, but I'm really happy with the lettuce and the tomato. And you may think 65 cents is nothing. I think it's silly sometimes when people don't want their own change because change adds up. So I've got these romaine, lo mein, Mr. Noodles. I got these at Dollarama and they were 30. They're actually 3 for $1, but if you just buy one, it works out to 34 cents, which you can see right here, 34 cents. And then I wanted a couple ingredients at the bulk barn. And I only had 31 cents left to work with because if you'll remember, I had 65 cents. So the young guy working there was super kind, humored me. I told him I was doing a challenge, that I had a really small budget to work with. I kept coming back. He kept weighing my little bags so that I knew exactly how much I had. And then I got a brilliant idea. So in Canada, we don't have pennies anymore. And if you pay with a credit card or debit card, so if it is electronic, you pay exactly the dollar value. But if you pay cash, you either round up or you round down. So this bag of coconut, you'll see what I want this for later. But this bag of coconut was 22 cents. So I paid cash 20 cents. You can see there the total, 20 cents. There was no, that paid the bill. So I rounded down and only spent the 20 cents. Then the chocolate chips, that meant that I had 11 cents left to spend on chocolate chips. So I brought up the chocolate chips. I kept going back, get a couple more until I had 12 cents worth of chocolate chips. You can see there that I gave a quarter and they gave me back 15-cent change. That meant that I paid 10 cents for the chocolate chips. Again, those two items are going to go in the same little recipe. It's not a huge recipe, but I'm excited about it. Anyways, the money is gone. The fast fuel coupons are gone. And I'm really happy with all of the rest of the ingredients that I was able to get. So in my attempts to ensure that while we were away for those couple of days that my milk didn't turn, because I was pretty sure it was getting close to that, I froze everything. So now I'm going to take a puck out, de-thaw it, so that I can have a little bit of milk to work with today. Breakfast for 2 today. Egg cups for both of us. Toast just for one of us. So being frugal, part of that is just using what you already have, the supplies that you already have. So because I was able to get all of those onions in that food rescue, and then I was able to get some beef bouillon cubes out of a different budget, and I've got leftover mushrooms, I am going to try my hand at a very simple French onion soup. I've never made this before. My sister has. She verbally gave me some directions, and this is what they consisted of. Saute the mushrooms and the onions, use a lot because they cook down, and then sprinkle some flour on top of them. This will help thicken your soup, and then add the bouillon or the stock right into the same pot. So she does her frying of the onions and the mushrooms in the actual pot that she is cooking the soup in. So I'm going to give this a try. We'll see how good it turns out. Okay, I've got onions, mushrooms. There's some margarine on the bottom to saute this, and let's go from here. We're starting to sizzle. I added more margarine. This is really starting to soften a lot. I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to just add the broth, the beef broth, directly into this. Since I have beef cubes, I actually have water heating up in the microwave right now. I'm going to try to pre-dissolve some of the cubes in the water just before I put everything in here together. I think that might be better. And I'm pushing the quantity of what you say, or the proportion of water to bouillon cubes. Of course, I'm increasing that because I want to try to get that little bit extra out of mine. It says it's supposed to be 1 cube in 500 milliliters of water. So I've got 2 cubes in 1.5 liters of water instead of 1 liter of water. And we'll see what that looks like, and I'll taste it, and maybe I'll be able to squeeze like a little more water into there, or maybe I'll have to use a 3rd cube. I don't know. My water is heated but not quite boiling yet, so we're gonna drop these cubes in here. I'm going to watch them and shake all the little remnants out. Watch them dissolve, or maybe not dissolve. I'll add this back into the microwave a bit. Where's my spoon? Where's a different spoon? Not really dissolving yet. I think I'm going to have to heat this quite a bit more. While I am cooking the soup as a little snack, these are some dill carrots that I made back in the fall, so that's a free item for me. So good. We're starting to dissolve a bit more now. So I've eaten all of the dilled carrots out of this jar. I'm going to save this little bit of brine. It might be good because I don't have a lot of things available to me. So this is something that I have. And maybe it would be good in something like tuna, or I'm not sure. I might be able to get some kind of use out of it. So I'm just going to put it in the fridge. These are really, really cooked down now. I'm going to get the flour. Flour sprinkled on. I'm going to just shut this off until my broth is ready. I don't know if I used enough flour. Okay, here we go with the broth. Ah! Now I need to simmer this. So I'll turn this back on and start to simmer. This smells really, really good. French onion soup for lunch for 2. So this is one of the days that we're doubling up on the meals. And I already did a little taste test and it tastes really yummy. Huh? I have eaten about half of this soup and I cannot even begin to tell you how good it is. So let's recap. I got the onions for free. It was a rescue. I bought the mushrooms discount from Superstore. I think they're about $1.50 approximately for the entire bag full. I've already used a bunch of those mushrooms. I saved a few left still in the bag. So let's just say I used 50 cents of mushrooms. Let's say 75. Let's be very generous. And I did add 1 additional bouillon cube. So I used 3 bouillon cubes. So let's say $1.25. There's 12. So let's say about 10 cents a piece. So 30 cents there. And I did use margarine. I did get a good deal on the margarine, but let's just say $1.50. Like I just spent $1.50. The pot is extremely big. The handsome one and I are both eating, so it is good. And he did ask me, like, what do you normally put on top of this, croutons or cheese? And I said, well, a lot of people put cheese on top of theirs, like mozzarella cheese, but we don't have any. And I had froze the bread. I haven't taken it out yet. So today we're having it plain. Perhaps tomorrow we'll have it with toast, or maybe I'll make croutons. It's good. anyway, it's going to last lots of meals. So you guys all know now that because we were away a couple days this week, I am feeding the handsome one. We're doubling up on some of the days. So now that I'm feeding him, I put him right to work. Previously, he has made tortilla shells for me, and I asked him if he would do this today. The ingredients, he tells me, are warm water, flour, salt, and normally it would be oil, but say you don't have oil, you use melted margarine. That works just fine. He gave me the very detailed instructions. I'm going to try to relay them. You have very warm water. You add the salt to the water so that it dissolves. Then you have the flour and you add the melted margarine, or if you have oil, the oil into the flour. And once that is in there, then you add the water slowly into that. I'm pretty sure that that is the instructions. And then you work the dough. I was not here when he made these. You work the dough and you cook these in a frying pan, like in a skillet. So he has made these and we are going to use them for supper tonight. I'm excited. I'm pretty excited for supper tonight. We are having wraps with lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, mayo, and chicken strips. And we are going to have this with home fries. This is going to be like, say you were having a McWrap at McDonald's and having French fries, or one of those little chubby chicken wraps at A&W. I'm excited about this. This feels fancy. I'm so glad that I have the lettuce and the tomato and the mayo to go with this. The fries have just stopped. We need to grab those out of there and then plate up the wraps. Chicken strips are ready. Okay, I have the mayo on the handsome ones, but I don't want mine like that. I've got a little teeny blurb of mayo in there. Ooh, and I am going to add a little teeny bit of ketchup. Well, that's messy now. And I'm going to stir that up. So I just made a little teeny sauce. And that's what I'm going to have on mine. These look so good. I'm so excited. You can see the tomatoes, a little bit of cheese. I didn't even use one full cheese slice. I have ketchup now. That's very exciting to me. The handsome one doesn't like ketchup, so he doesn't understand the excitement. He likes ketchup. He just chooses not to eat it on many things that I do choose to eat it on. Anyways, yum, yum. I'm making bread again, another half loaf. I should have 1/3 a cup of oatmeal. And you can see that I don't quite have 1/3. That's fine. I don't want to open up one of the other packages. I am using that for another recipe. So I'm just going a little short. For breakfast today, we are going to have smoothies. So everyone knows I was away a couple days. I froze my leftover bananas. I froze a lot of stuff. I'd rather freeze it and not lose the ingredients. And this is a little bit of the milk that I have left from what I thawed yesterday, but it's not enough for a smoothie. So I'm going to grab another one of my pucks and thaw that out. This is cherry jam, strawberry jam, yogurt, and I think that's all I'm going to use today. Yeah, this will be good. Strawberry, cherry smoothies for breakfast. My bread is just finishing up here. It's looking good. I'll put the lid back on. But what it made me think about is that I froze 2 small pieces of bread before we left. I am going to toast these and we're going to have them with our soup for lunch today. Lunch today is French onion soup with homemade bread. My loaf turned out awesome. I've already got the little paddle out. Very excited. I was incredibly hasty the day that I got these pork chops and threw them like this directly into the freezer without separating them. I need 1 pork chop tonight for supper, so I'm going to get the handsome one to break one of these away from the other ones. Now they are apart. I've got 3 and they're separated to go back in the freezer. And this one is going to be for use for tonight's supper. Tonight for supper, we are going to make a lo mein. We are going to use the noodles from this ramen noodle package. I'm going to use the package inside it for the seasoning. We are going to cut up the last of the celery pieces that I have. We're going to use 1 carrot. We are going to have broccoli and cauliflower and onion and pork. It's going to be delicious. Okay, we've got everything cut. I decided to use all of the rest of the mushrooms that I had left. I have got the stove preheating. We'll get everything in my little wok and we're going to start cooking. I am probably going to use 1/3 of what's left in this bag. Okay, we are cooking here now. I don't have any oil. I just have a little bit of water in here. Also, the veggies will release water or liquid as well. I've got the water almost boiling. I am going to use the little package that comes in this. That's going to be the sauce, the seasoning that we have for this. Got that in there. This is looking good. This is looking really, really good. Pork lo mein for supper tonight, and there is enough left for supper tomorrow night. This is looking super awesome. So this was 1 pork chop, 1 package of ramen noodles from Dollarama, some winter vegetables, which is broccoli, cauliflower, frozen ones, 1 carrot, a couple little tiny pieces of leftover celery, and a handful of leftover mushrooms, and an onion, 1 onion. For breakfast today, I am going to have strawberry banana smoothies. Now, you may think, what is that bag of green items? I don't remember Melanie having that as an ingredient. Well, Melanie didn't. So this is what is happening right now. We were away for a few days. I took measures to preserve a lot of my perishable items by freezing them. The handsome one never thinks in advance to do things like that. He had some spinach that 100% would have gone bad by the time we got back. So I thought I am going to freeze that for him. Since we are both eating today, I am using this ingredient. I feel like I rescued it, like it was a food rescue, because he didn't take any steps to save it at all. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. This would have been totally gooey in the spinach container when we came home from away. So I feel like 100%, because I rescued this, I am now entitled to have it in my stockpile. Let me know your thoughts. Because of the incidences with the old smoothie maker, I'm still thawing the frozen fruit slightly before I put it in there, just as a little preventative to running the motor out of my smoothie maker. Whoops, we were already drinking them. Forgot to take my little video, but look at this. Look, can you see the green? Very excited to have this spinach. I don't even feel one little moment of regret from rescuing that spinach. Yesterday and the day before, we had seconds both times. So today I didn't bother with the small bowls. I just went for the big bowls right from the beginning. We are also having the French onion soup today with homemade bread. I still can't get over how delicious this soup is and how incredibly simple and how few ingredients that it actually needed. So 2 of us ate it for 3 different meals. So that's 6 servings. Plus this is what I have left over that I'm going to be carrying forward. Now, these are hugely full. Those are very full. Realistically, for a lunch for me, I could probably take a small amount out of each of those and have 3 future lunches out of them. But the soup is so good. I don't know. I don't know. 2 is probably more realistic just because of how good it is and how I was always wanting to have seconds. Anyways, just super easy, super delicious. Lo mein for supper tonight. It was really good. Week 4 has finished. This is everything that I have left over. Keep in mind that I've spent a grand total of $87, 23, 23, 23, and 18. And I've eaten the entire weeks, 4 weeks. So when you're looking at all of this stuff, lots of people would say, oh, $87 for those groceries. That's great. This is just what I have left. This is crazy. Let's get started. I have left mayo, ketchup, some cheese, 2 large things of soup, margarine. In that container here, that is a tomato. I have a few eggs left. I'm going to say maybe 4 eggs, maybe 5. Carrots. Now I have lettuce. I have 1 avocado, 4 lemon, 4 oranges, some garlic. I have some beef cubes left in here. I've got 2 packages of oatmeal. I've got tons of little bags from the bulk barn. They are a mixture of coconut, chocolate chips, baking powder, baking soda, yeast, but the yeast is just a couple granules. I'm definitely going to need more yeast next week. I've got a little bit of sugar. I've got taco seasoning. I've got split peas. I have cinnamon and nutmeg. Again, those are just very, very little parts. I've got 2 soups, cream of mushroom, cream of tomato. I have rice, spaghetti, and macaroni. This bowl has tons of onions in it. I have flour, potatoes, and a little teeny bit of nacho chips left. I have 3 packages of lean ground beef that I split up into the freezer. I have this much of a homemade loaf of bread. This has 1 tortilla shell in it. Now onto the frozen goods. I have chickpeas that I froze, and I freeze a lot of things. As long as the consistency is going to be fine for what I'm going to use it for in the future, it saves me from a lot of food waste. I have milk. So there's the little milk pucks that I made. Plus I had extra and no room. So I just put it in this cup. I should probably thaw that one next. I have pasta sauce pucks. I have broth pucks. That's chicken, and I have 1 little half puck of beef. I have, for veggies, I've got some squash. I've got that spinach. I've got peas. And, oh, there's the broth puck. Huh. I've got peas, beans, carrots, mixed vegetables, cauliflower and broccoli. In the back, I have 3 very large waffles. I have chicken strips. That's a half a can of tuna and the liquid that was in with it. I have frozen strawberries. I have 3 pork chops. There's 3 in that bag. I have a little pork roast. I have a little steak. This is, on my very first week, I was able to buy 2 hamburger patties, and I still have 1/2 of one of those patties left. This is chicken breast, cut into 2 different pieces here. I saved the pepperoni because we were going away. I forgot about that. So this is going to be perfect. So sure, it's frozen. I don't know if it would be the best for fresh eating, but it would certainly work well on something like a pizza. I have this bag. This is chicken skin, one of the drumsticks, some broth, just a bunch of things that would be great for a chicken soup. And I have 1 entire drumstick in here that if I picked that clean, that would be great for something like a stir fry, a small casserole, something where you just didn't need tons. This is absolutely phenomenal. The amount of money that people do spend on groceries sometimes seems really just crazy to me. Yes, what I'm doing right now is extreme, and this does take quite a bit of work, but my regular grocery budget for 2 people is on average $60. And I don't work near as hard for the $60 that I do for this smaller amount. My pantries are stocked. We always eat well. And I feel like we have a lot of luxury items because our pantry's always so full that I have the flexibility to spend the budget really whatever I wanted. Because if I needed to just eat from my pantry and not spend any money, I could. I could actually do that next week for this if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I've actually already done my shop for week 5, so you guys can look forward to that. Stay tuned for that. Some exciting things coming for next week. Anyways, just this can be done. When your budget is really small, it seems like the thing to do would be to despair. That's a very natural reaction, but with some thought and some effort, you really can thrive on a very small budget. I was just starting to put everything away when all of a sudden I remembered the peanut butter. How could I forget the peanut butter? So yeah, this is exciting too. Woo, peanut butter. I have too much food to keep everything segregated anymore. I don't have the space anymore. And I totally forgot. I have chili. I have a huge amount of chili. I've got 2 egg cups. Yeah, totally forgot about those. There's probably other things I'm forgetting about too. That's how much food I have. That's craziness. So what do you think? This was a pretty phenomenal week, I think. And the meals were really good. Like all the meals were really good. The handsome one did a fantastic job making the tortilla shells. Those wraps were delicious. And I still have 1 wrap left. And the French onion soup was dead easy to make and absolutely delicious. It's funny, the handsome one said tonight, like, just imagine what it would taste like if you had the real ingredients. And I was like, those were the real ingredients. It was just a simple French soup recipe. Like, I'm not really missing anything. The recipe that I verbally got from my sister, like, those are the things that she uses. So it was delicious. Highly recommend. And the lo mein was so good. So good. And that little spinach that I saved, that's my own little food rescue. I was really excited to have that in the smoothie. So that was really fun. And I have some of that left over too, still in the freezer. So let me know your thoughts. How do you think I did this week? How do you feel about the fact that instead of 7 days, it was 3 days, but 2 of us? Moving on to next week, I'm going to go back to the normal plan. I'm a day late getting the video posted because I just needed time to get the meals and stuff. I'm going to try, I think, I'm going to try to get back on track next week. We'll see. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I would really, really appreciate it if you would do so. That would help me. Thanks so much and have a great weekend, everybody.